I'm here with Michael Hanulec, team manager of Roche USA and Awesomatix USA. Did I get that right?
Yep.
Very good, very good. Okay, so you have essentially two new products here that are doing quite well, I hear. Let's talk about this. First off, this isn't a shaft drive car. What happened, buddy?
Well, it's a great question. So, I think a lot of people have seen the Awesomatix platform out for the last few years.
And doing well.
Yeah. And, the car we've been having it here in the States for like the last 3 years or so, trying to, help push it. And until October, it's been a shaft-driven car. And, the designer Oleg, in his infinite wisdom, decided to try making the platform with a belt, and it's been pretty darn successful so far. So, and people might be like, "What do you mean a belt? I had the shaft car. It's, what am I doing?" Funny enough, like this weekend is one of the first weekends where we're racing some of the same motor classes on a big enough track, and last year we did pretty well with the Evo 2 kit, the A700 Evo 2. Mike G won 13.5 and 17.5 at Horsham for the 2015 Ronats. And I did decently there. I finished, I think, 4th in both of the classes.
Right on, high five.
And funny enough, like I find this year at Snowbirds with the belt car, all we did run the same motor, and you drop one tooth on your pinion.
All right.
And it's allowing us to sort of get out there and then hustle the rest of those belt cars that are out there right now. So
right on.
But yeah, this is the A800A, a little dirty from racing. This is my mod car right now, but comes in 2 flavors, as an alloy chassis or a carbon chassis, and it's been pretty popular.
Right on. Is it safe to say that the majority of the rest of the car, suspension components and whatnot, are of similar design to the prior one?
It's everything that people loved about the old 8700s, except for the shaft. And because they don't have that complicated shaft and those really pretty gears on the spool and the diff, surprisingly, the car is about $200 cheaper.
Woof! That's a big savings, especially in this market where touring cars are already expensive.
Yeah. So now this car with quote-unquote ECSs comes in at a price of $599 retail, making it as competitive as the X-Rays in the market or the Yokomos in the market.
Right on. Do you think the belt has a bigger area of opportunity in certain classes for, like, say, mod as opposed to the shaft?
Well, it's hard to say. The funny thing is, most of us in North America, let's be serious, we're stock racers.
Yeah, we are.
And although we're trying, to do better in mod, but even in like 17.5 touring, which is pretty darn fast these days, all the team drivers prefer this car. And funny enough, we have one team driver who did really well here last year, Mark Burt. He sort of stepped back from the game for a little bit, and he decided to come out to Snowbirds. He has his A700 Evo 2. He's doing pretty well with it.
Shaft drive?
Shaft-driven car. But he's probably attributing his performance to the lack of run. And to be fair, it makes sense.
Well, he's still fast after a few months off.
Yeah,
So.
it's ridiculous how fast it is.
Good to hear.
But yeah, this has been going well, and hopefully we'll see a lot more out there. All right.
Hopefully. All right. So what other toys you got here today?
So last year, this car, this Roche Rapid 12 debuted. Actually, I believe this race was one of the first times people could see it. Teru from Xenon had it on display, and we now have this car along with a Formula One car that's a prototype. I should have grabbed that, and we have a World GT car, and we're working on a 235 millimeter pan car too.
Oh wow!
So hopefully that class might have a comeback, and it's just a 2-wheel drive, pan car, but it features a lot of the things that people are already putting on their cars today. The plastics in the front end are all made by Xenon. There's likely to have other Xenon plastics in the future as they increase their plastics to include like side links and pivots and stuff like that. And then all the metal is 70-75, so we can take a real beating and still stay pretty straight. You know, and some innovative or maybe not innovative features are, you know, some easy to adjust ride height for the rear axle. And one of the things that's interesting here is you can actually just take these and spin them around so you can make your wheelbase shorter or longer.
Oh wow, okay.
And so there's a wheelbase adjustment here in the rear and another one in the front. So that is a little different compared to some of the cars out there. But, you know, there's their own shock, their own axle, their own hubs. And these axles, you know, some of these 12 scale guys that are out here, they're telling me this is the lightest thing you can buy. And they're running them in all their cars because it's the lightest thing you can buy. All right, without spending, you know, a fortune for a hollow IRS axle, which I think is unattainable these days.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, this has been going pretty well. I think we're still trying to figure out this brand new CRC rug. You know, one of the first competitive races we had with the car was the 2015 Halloween Classic. Tried to put on a good showing there. We were real strong in stock and super stock. And we just actually got Donnie Lee on board starting this January.
Oh, very good.
And Donnie's, you know, he's going to focus a lot on the pan car platform. But, you know, we also have him coming in to work on touring, and hopefully we can help, you know, raise his profile in the touring, you know, division.
Right on.
So,
Well, he's certainly a wheel.
Yeah.
And if he spends any time in touring car, he's definitely going to be a force to reckon with.
yeah, it should be exciting.
All right, very good. Well, thank you very much for spending this time with us.
No worries.
And good luck for the rest of the week.
Thank you, Greg. Good seeing you.
Likewise.